This is a PI Advice Podcast.
This is a PI Podcast.
Yeah, boy.
What is going on, everybody? Andrew here with the Private Investigator Advice Podcast. Hope you guys had a great Christmas and New Year. I got a new podcast gadget here. Still working out the kinks. Yeah. If you guys is first time listening, you guys could always visit me at the Private Investigator Advice website. Taper this off here. That's at PrivateInvestigatorAdviceHQ.com. It's an extremely long URL for your pleasure. Yeah, Christmas came by, New Year's came by. Work's been slow, expectedly, sadly, but that's okay. No worries. I got to spend time with the family. Hope you guys did too. Hope you're everything's going good with you. Let's see, Christmas. What did I get for Christmas? I got a police scanner. I'd wanted a police scanner not only for PI use, but for some other projects I had going on. And I got it. And, since I'm kind of a scanner noob, don't know much about it. I'm sure there's some scanner aficionados out there. But since I don't know much about it, I was kind of surprised when I found out that I needed some more stuff. I needed actually a different scanner for the area that I'm in, which was a little bit unexpected. But so I had to return it, and I ordered a new one. It still hasn't arrived yet. So whatever. I'll let you guys know when that comes, and I'll tell you how cool it is, if it is indeed cool. What else happened? So New Year's went by, another year. Hopefully another year for you guys in business, or maybe this is like the new year where you're like, okay, that's it, I'm going to do it. Or who knows? Maybe you're like, nope, I've had enough of the private investigator life. I'm going to get out of it. Who knows? But if you, either way, I'm here to entertain both. So it's all good. I got my winter beard going on here. No, I've already had a beard, but I kind of let this one grow. I think we're about a couple weeks into it, and it starts to deform my face the longer, changes the way my face look. The wife does not care for that, so it'll probably have to be chopped off pretty soon here. What else is going on? Oh, by the way, dude, getting a ton of emails and messages through Facebook, and I apologize for, sometimes it's taking me longer to get back to most of you, but I'm sorry about that. I'm been emailing recently, and like last night I was getting back to some people. Totally appreciate the the questions and stuff. I'm more than happy to if I got the answer real quick, I can give it to you. Otherwise I might guide you to a podcast, or I might guide you to a video where I've already talked about it, so I don't have to type out an essay over and over again for for people who have similar questions that have been asked before. But yeah, totally appreciate that. Totally love it. Lets me know that people are getting engaged and, digging the stuff, and, it's good. It's good stuff. So I made some resolutions. They're kind of, what I was like thinking to myself, what can I do different this year? A lot of people have like a business, okay, I want to do this with my business. I want to make this much money this year. Or I want to buy that new video camera this year, or whatever it's going to be. I got a couple I'm going to share with you guys. They're not all PI related, but just kind of some personal, kind of goals this year that, that I need to do. So the first one is to lose 40 or 50 pounds. Hey, no laughing. I can do this. I've become less active over the years. You have kids, and you should be running around more. I found myself, when I got into blogging and then obviously doing the PI stuff, doing a lot of surveillance, I've just become less and less active, and I was at a point where I was gaining like 10 pounds every year, throughout my career, and then I've kind of plateaued at a certain level here, and I need to lose some weight. I need to be able to play with my kids more, be a little more active, and so that's my goal on number one. More power to you if you guys have the same goal. That's awesome. Let me know. Let me know if you've said, okay, I've had enough. So in losing that weight, my kids got involved in wrestling this year, my daughter and my son. And of course I wrestled in high school and a little bit of college. And so I was very excited to have that happen. And so I've kind of playing with this idea of maybe, I'm not too old yet, but maybe I can competitively wrestle again. I mean, I'm not talking Olympics here, but wrestle some old guys, maybe my age again, and just maybe see what I got, see if I got any skills still. But yeah, I don't know. You guys probably play sports. I'm sure like, baseball guys out there play softball because you love it so much. I love wrestling, and my body unfortunately can't do what it used to do. So I'm hoping to get back to that point again. And what's else? For the PI world, for this blog, for this podcast, I'd like to make, around 30 videos this year, whether it be reviews or the podcast videos, or, maybe some just, maybe me walking the streets and talking to you. I don't know. Those vlogs those kids are doing these days, maybe I'll do one of those. What I have found is that I'm getting a lot of feedback on the podcast, and not just the podcast itself, but the videos. I didn't know if people were going to enjoy this kind of format. Essentially, it's just a podcast on the video. You guys can always, see the video on YouTube. Go to the PI Advice page, the YouTube page, and I've got all the podcasts listed there that I've done videos for. But you can watch them on your phone. You can watch them on your iPad. And of course, you can just listen to them if that's all you want to do. And I stick those infographics up over here on this side over here, and that gives you something to look at. Tells you what I'm talking about. No, I'm not just feeding you a bunch of BS. If I'm quoting something, or there's a website I found. Well, here it is. And I point to it, and then I'll have it in the show notes. Hopefully, if I stop being so lazy and takes forever to do it. But yeah, I want to make some videos. I want to give you guys at least 50 blogs this year. Hopefully, on various topics and. Be informative, and to be honest with you, I'd like to put together a course. I've been dragging my feet. I've kind of outlined it more times than I should. I'm like, oh, this is what I want to do. I want to, build this awesome course, and put together this, this ultimate resource, or something to that effect, to where it can help you in your career. I mean, the Pride Investigator Advice blog in general is going to take you so far. It's going to take you as far as I've gone, and maybe just a little bit farther. And then, you might end up having to listen to some other people who've gone further in their career. That's natural. Everybody's different places in their lives. But yeah, that's my goals. So, anyways, today's a news episode. Yep. 2 in a row. I needed to write a blog before. I felt better talking about a subject, in a video or in a podcast after I've written it, because then I could just lay my thoughts out. But so I haven't really laid any thoughts out. I've kind of been lazy, completely honest, just been lazy. I've blogged for 2 years, and my gosh, I think it's coming up on 2 years here for the podcast, something like that. Anyways, sometimes you can just kind of get burnt out, and even just the job in general, you get burnt out of. So I've been slacking, and I admit it. I apologize, but we'll get back on the horse here, right? I'm just going to keep chugging away. I'll get motivation here and there. So with that being said, some things have kind of come out on the news here. One of them was Snapchat. And I heard about this, and I've been meaning to do like a Snapchat review, which I'm going to, just because now that I put it out there, it's definitely an opportunity to share that. But it's this app where you take a picture, you send it to whoever, and you can set the amount of time available that picture will be available to the person. So you send it to them, and they look at it, and then within whatever amount of time you've given, that picture will disappear. Of course, there's a way around that. You can take a screenshot of your screen, but whatever. Anyway, Snapchat apparently had a hacker break into their files here. Let me bring it up here. Let's see here. December 27th. Snapchat posted on a blog post that said a hacker security group explained how someone might make a database of all the users based on their phone numbers. And then the group then exposed, Snapchat's users' information on a site called Snapchat, blah, blah, blah. I'll put the thing in there. It's gone now. If you try to look for it, it's gone. Don't worry about it. But it just shows, in this whole, Christmassy time, I guess you guys heard about Target getting their info hacked, and then that info going to the black market. And as I'm looking at this, I think Skype got hacked too somehow. I don't know. It's just it's going to happen. There's people who got very smart people out there that I don't know, either want to just prove how smart they are or want to make a lot of money. Either way, it affects the normal Joe. Snapchat, and I haven't written about this yet, but if you're going to use that app, it also says if you don't want to have your information exposed, then you need to turn off the Find Friends function, and that will disable that so that whatever hackers can't get to it. I don't know. I'm not a hacker, so I don't know all the funky junk. But if you guys, I could always imagine using like Snapchat, maybe in a private investigation level, maybe you're sharing information with a colleague or something like that where you don't necessarily want them to hold on to that information. Maybe you took a picture of something, so maybe it's whatever you share, you don't want it to get out, and maybe you can't trust the person. That might be an option for you. Maybe you send a Snapchat picture to a client. I'm not quite sure, but you guys are smart out there. You guys can find a way to utilize Snapchat if it fits into your business needs, possibly. Let's see here. The next on the news article, I titled this pay, play. Okay. This comes from the citizensvoice.com. This says attorneys say Zelensky investigator won't work, demands payment. And in summary of this article, basically there's a private investigator working in the defense of a homicide suspect, Hugo Zelensky, and he was been owed like 10 grand. And I guess the trial got put on hold for some reason. And when they resumed, he's like, hey, you guys don't pay me. I'm not going to do any more work. That's it. I'm done. And so basically they got it to where this guy could get paid. But in saying that, I mean, $10,000 seems like a lot. I've known private investigation companies that have been owed hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think it was a couple hundred, and had to go to court to get paid. It was ridiculous. And from well-known companies, like they were doing vendor work, and stopped working for them after that. I mean, just imagine how much lost revenue over the years. They're not paying, and then you're paying your people, and you're still not getting paid from the client. And so, you just got to eventually put your foot down. But a lot of times investigation companies will, even though they're not getting paid right away or the payment's delayed, they're hoping that their client's going to be good for it, and they just, keep working regardless, just, to not upset the client, to not pay them, so it's a weird line, but I think you get the idea. So that was the next one that came from the citizensvoice.com. And they were saying, even the attorneys were saying, like, look, we can't investigate. We can't do all the stuff that this guy needs to do. We have our own stuff we're doing. So we really need him to get paid. And then they paid him. That was that. The next one really kind of irritated me because I am a Washington resident, and this really, really bothered me. It says Washington Insurance Commissioner combats $250,000 in insurance fraud in 2013. Now, Washington's kind of different. It doesn't. They've got their own. I since I haven't messed around with it for a while, I almost forget what it's all about. But basically, Washington State has it set up to where they investigate the insurance claims, and I can't remember what gosh, I'm messing it up. But needless to say, unless the companies are self-insured, if they're self-insured, they can have other investigation companies work their claims. If they're not, they have to go through Labor and Industries, and if they don't, it's some I don't know. It's I call it mafia because I feel like Washington's got a stranglehold. And from what I hear, they're investigating. And I've applied to work there at one point in my life, but from what I heard through the grapevine, they can't get to everything. And I even heard that maybe their people aren't as good as they could be to investigate these claims. And I didn't mean to badmouth Labor and Industries, but I felt like when I saw $250,000 for an entire state, I thought that was, these are ones that went to conviction and went to court and people were ordered to pay restitution, things like that. But I mean, gosh, I don't want to go out to a limb there, but I could say that the surveillance I did over the past, in 2013, me alone may have, prevented $100,000 in fraud, whether it be in a claim settling or, maybe be finding out critical information or, something, who knows? But the fact of the matter is for an entire state to be investigating insurance fraud and you only, talk about $250,000. I mean, I think that's it sounds, I don't know. It just sounds like a little bit of money. It doesn't sound very much. I mean, I think there's investigators out there that have been like, oh, I saved a company $200,000 last year. One company on one case. I mean, so this doesn't seem like a lot to me. I mean, even preventative fraud in the sense of, you work at surveillance and they go to court and their claim is decreased because you have obtained video that contradicts their claim. It might not be outright fraud, but you can definitely lower what they're trying to seek from the insurance company or seek from the employer because it's a little BS. They're not as hurt as they say they are. That's saving the company money. That's saving fraud. I mean, because it's fraud in my opinion. So you could be saving an insurance company $50,000 on one surveillance case, Anyways, so the $250,000 is out there, and whatever. I just think that's not enough. That's not enough. It said in 2013, SIU handled 78 criminal cases, 35 search warrants, and served various banks and internet service providers search warrants on these different places. I don't know. I'm sad about that. So there you go. I'll post that. That was on the Claims Journal. God bless them. Let's see what else we got here. I was going through the PI feed because that's a cool place to go and kind of read an aggregate, of information. I thought this was really, well, it's not, I want to say it's cool, but I think it's needed. I mean, because, well, let me explain. It says, for the first time ever, a prosecutor will go to jail for wrongfully convicting an innocent man. How many times, gosh, I think there's this, what are they called? There's a special group out there that comprised of like lawyers and researchers that have uncovered, gosh, man, I really can't remember the name of the group. Anyways, they basically find evidence to get people that are wrongly convicted out of jail. It happens all over the United States. No one's ever, who's responsible for that, right? Like, well, in this particular instance, this lawyer withheld evidence that he obtained that could have proven this husband of a wife who had been killed innocent, and instead this husband spent 25 years in jail because this lawyer, this prosecutor, withheld evidence. So apparently, after this guy goes to jail, this wrongly convicted man, and this lawyer has a great career, and he becomes a judge, and then somehow this is found out. Long article here. I didn't read it all, but basically, what was at the top? The lawyer turned judge. He pled to criminal contempt. He'll have to give up his law license, perform 500 hours of community service, and spend 10 days in jail. Now that's a little lean, in my opinion, for someone who spent 25 years in jail. He gets 10 days. I think that's a little. We call that mafia. I learned that from my father-in-law. Mafia. See, they got control of some stuff there. Anyways, He has already resigned in September from his position on the Texas bench. So apparently, things like that do happen, but where you withhold information or, but not, I don't think maybe that's not the norm where you withhold information that could exonerate somebody, not have them be convicted of a crime for 25 years. That's horrible. I don't know how somebody can live with themselves for doing that. All right. Enough of that depressing thing. Let's see here. I think this is from PI Now, if I remember correctly here. This is Serve Now, maybe it is. From PI Now, Serve Now. I think they're the same thing. I'm not quite sure. Anyways, they had a little infographic here where it showed you what states are one or two party states. An example of Alaska is a one party consent. So, it basically tells you where you can have, you need two parties to have consent to the conversation being recorded, or just one party. Only one party recording needs to know. It tells you most of them are a lot of them are just one party states. Let's see, Washington's a two party state, California is a two party state, and Nevada, and Florida. In fact, a lot of the areas that I've worked in are two-party states, so that's probably why I've only had to deal with that. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I'll post the link to it. Definitely interesting look. I mean, it's not a big read or anything, but it's definitely something to look at. And finally, Cusick and Cusick caught my eye again on a post that they put out. Now, this was a little bit of link bait, and basically, it's a title that basically caught my eye. Now, whether it's that informative or not, it begs to that question is some word I want to use, fancy, but I don't know it. Anyways, so I read it. The Cusick writes, "Why private investigators should drink beer," and I'm like, what? What's this all about? So I open it up, and it starts to talk about the benefits of drinking beer. Helps you sleep. Improves your memory somehow. Usually people drink too much beer, they lose their memory. They don't remember things. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm sure there's some scientific backing to this. Beer drinkers are 23% less likely to have issues with their memory when they're older. I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm sure that, like I said, I'm sure there's some scientific backing to that. Reduces stress. Well, obviously, contains nutrients such as vitamin B, magnesium, protein, which can decrease stress and anxiety, improve your mood because you're drunk. I don't know, maybe. High in fiber. Okay, I guess. I mean, this isn't like eat your beer for breakfast thing. It's not like eating your Wheaties or anything. What else? And then I asked, what's your favorite beer? Beer provides 100 Canadian jobs. That I don't know what that means here. Stays blah blah blah. Whatever. Here's the thing. Don't drink on the job. Okay. If you go to, a lot of clients now, especially when you do vendor work, they're like, "Hey, no drinky when you're worky." So you can always get something that just get a soda pop when you're following people into bars, and if they don't care, just milk a beer, and I say milk a beer, I mean, sip it. I'm not saying milk a beer. Just sip it on it and just, that beer should last you an hour or so. And, do your videotaping or whatever your job is there in the bar. But yeah, definitely be responsible. It's easy to, have maybe more than you should. I'm not saying maybe be drunk, but maybe not be your sharpest. So that was that. So that's the interesting news that I thought that should be shared with the private investigator advice community, since you guys are so awesome. Cusick and Cusick really out there with the beer blog. I would have never thought to link those two, but hey, maybe maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we should be having a beer night or something. I don't know. I'm too tired. I'm a married guy with kids, and I just can't think about drinking beer unless I'm like throwing darts or something. Anyways, so I thank you guys for listening. I will put these links up, I'm sure, like weeks after this video is posted, because that's usually how I roll. And I just want to thank you guys for listening. Hopefully, again, these will be up sooner than that, so I can direct you that way. And then there's, of course, there's infographics. And, if you guys want to find me, of course, I've got the videos on Private Investigator Advice on, that's the name, the title of the YouTube page. Subscribe to it. And, there's always videos being posted. Obviously, I think I'm up to like 53 videos, podcasts, and surveillance tips, and other various tips that I come up with, and reviews and whatnot. And of course, if you're in the car and you don't want to watch me, you just want to listen to me, you can just put in the podcast. There's a podcast app for iTunes, and there's on your iPhone, I mean, and then of course there's you can get those on. I like Stitcher. And there's some other ones. I'll go over those on another day. But Stitcher, I got a new Android phone. That's something to discuss down the road. Different phones. Maybe I'll write a blog about that. Who knows? And what else? And of course, the Private Investigator Advice blog. That's kind of like the hub of it all, where you can go to the videos and you can go to the podcasts and see all the fun blogs. And and if you haven't met up with me on Facebook yet, I encourage you to do so. I love talking to people on Facebook. I love the interaction, and thank you to all you guys who do participate and kind of engage the conversation. I love it. And yeah, there's, like I said, there's a lot of questions that came out. I'll probably do a podcast really soon on that, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, just kind of answering their questions, or give you the answers that I gave them, and all that kind of good stuff. Private Investigator Marketing is one of our sponsors. Give them a look. Very intelligent team over there. It's Investigator Marketing, excuse me, and give them a shout out. I don't know of any. I don't have a promotion just yet from them, but when I do, I will share that on the next podcast. So, without further ado, look at my cool mic stand. Dig it, love it. Blue mic thingy thing here for the Private Investigator Advice theme. And you guys have a great day, great night, whatever you guys are doing. Get to work safe, and I'll talk to you later. Hey, thanks again for watching the video. I would highly recommend going down there and clicking that subscribe button. There's a ton of videos always coming out. Sometimes they're podcast videos, sometimes they're review videos, sometimes they're tip videos, you name it. I'm making videos. So if you would, just go ahead and click that thing, click that button. Did you click it yet? No? Is your mouse broken? Are you using one of those touch pads? Listen, I don't have all day, but I can sit here a little bit longer if you want. All right, then. Awkward. Thanks for watching.